Hey guys, Aqua Duelist here. So I just had I went to my first locals yesterday in like 2 years. And I thought I would do a locals recap video. Um and I'm gonna be kind of experimenting with this type of video. So if y'all have any recommendations for this video of what I should do in the future, please drop that in the comments. I would like to know. Um, Before I get right into this, I do want to say I have a Discord server up now. Link in the description to that below if you'd like to join the Discord server. Join the tidal wave. It'd be awesome to interact with you guys. And I have a Patreon as well. Link in the description below that if you feel like donating to the channel. So we're gonna go ahead and first thing I want to show is my pulls from the OTS pack. So I ended up getting a Curse Seal the Forbidden Spell, Artifact Morella, or Moreltech, and Space Gift. That's what I pulled from the one OTS pack that I got. I did do some trades. I thought I'd show those really quick. I ended up getting the first Incantations. I think I traded like space connectors for those, and there was something else. I also got my hands on some Manjus. I ended up trading the Firebearer 3 copies of the Firebearer statue. I know it's bad. It's bad on the person's part, but the other person's part. But I did tell them in the future if they do need something, I'll essentially kind of hook them up. And then I got another Dogran, because you can never have too many Dograns, or enough Kaijus. I traded I think it was like an instant fusion target, and whatchamacallit, or no, it was a Fairy Tale Luna and a Volcasaurus for it. That's what I got from the trades. I did pick up a few things from the store. Nothing real crazy, but I picked up a Mind Crush, another Mahjong Luna Maiden for the Maiden tin. I basically have like a tin half full of these. Some more Panzer Dragons, just because I want to do Altered Arts with this card. And I honestly just kind of like the card. And then I found a bunch of the Phantom Spiral cards. I've been kind of wanting to do Phantom Spirals for a while, so I just kind of, like, I got on the conversation with someone, and essentially just found pretty much almost a play set of, like, 5 of the cards. So, probably we'll do, a Phantom Spiral deck at some point, or at least attempt to. So, yeah, that's something we could possibly get in the future. And for the matchups, round 1 was a bye, so I got to go to round 2. We had an odd number of people, it was 11. Round 2, I went against a person who was using like it was a Fairy Tale Luna invoked Mech Knight Kaiju deck, and it was really interesting. Game 1, he evenly matched me. Game 2, I basically went, had Spinos, Rex, and another Domus on the field. I ended up clearing the board he had, went for, I think it was like, he had like a really small board. Tributed the one for Spinos, activated, limit removal, and then ended up, I went to attack with Spinos twice for 5k. The dude, I forget what he played, but I activated a Phantom Knight Wings, because I thought he was going to destroy the Spinos, and instead he just lowered its attack. So, weird scenario there. Phantom Knight Wings ended up saving the Spinos that game. And then Rex was gone, and essentially he just got over the Spinos, and I really couldn't do anything else, and he just kind of gamed me. And then round 3 was against Twilightsworn, Twilightsworn Synchro Turbo. Game 1 was about 30 minutes. This dude spent, essentially, I had a pretty decent board setup, a pretty good one. He said it was really strong, though, but, basically, I just kind of mostly left my Duelist on the field because I didn't know exactly what I was playing against, and I was kind of doing more control, kinda, and, he kind of looked at the scales and was like, oh, holy crap, he didn't really know how to get rid of them, so he spent about 25 minutes just doing combos to essentially get around the scales and to essentially break down the board. Game 2, he played, I think it was Imperial, Imperial Order, something like that. I popped it, and then, or I returned it with Howling, and then, was going to essentially just do what I could and game him next turn. Sadly, Duelist was just a little too slow for that, and he actually ended up mainly winning in time. Like, we were about to go into time, and he basically pretty much ended up using Fairy Tale Snows during the battle phase to win that. So that's what happened there. True Draco. Round 4 was True Dracos. I actually won that round. Match 1 was just kind of really quick and kind of easy. He just couldn't really do that much. And I just I honestly can't remember match 1 really that well. And then match 2, he sided in anti-spell fragrance, and the game essentially just became to a screeching halt, and it was like playing 2004 format, basically. I ended up winning that. I actually did misplay with the Black Horn of Heavens. So we should have had a game 3, but we didn't realize it till like later, and so yeah. That's basically, there's something under my mat. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's basically how that game went. And if you didn't watch the live stream, time for a deck profile, we actually made this deck profile Saturday on the live stream. So it's different, and I didn't actually play test this deck, so we're just I'm gonna go ahead and get into this, point out the things, all the things about the deck, and changes I would make, because I want to essentially take this deck back to locals next week, kind of like, fixed up. So we played 3 Paterans, 3 Plethios, the more standard stuff. Actually, let me fix that. Okay, let me sorry. So yeah, so 3 Plethios. Plethios actually did really good this tournament. 3 Spinos, and Spinos was like the MVP this tournament. Basically, this dude I basically got so many direct attacks with this guy. It was really crazy. And just honestly insane. Just MVP of the deck and my favorite card personally. Then we have 3 Rex. Didn't really use his effect. Honestly, whenever I had to side stuff out, I always would essentially go for one of the Rexes. And then 3 Ceratops. I actually regret playing 3. I should have just played 2. I saw this guy way too much, more than I needed, and he kind of became a brick card. Whenever I did side stuff out, I always sided out Ceratops as well. I also played 2 Brachion. Didn't see this guy as much as I wanted. 1 Ankleos. He did his thing. I didn't really see it. It was here, mainly for the scales. I had to be a scale. and I actually do think he's not that bad. We expect when he's like comboed with like Plethios or like Mistar Boy. But basically, like one of the strongest things I could have done in this was just to leave a bunch of Domus on the field with Plethios and stuff. That was like one of the biggest things like people just had trouble getting over. Then for my monsters, I played 3 Bear Statue of Torrent. I actually did some work. It actually did some work this turn in the one dude who was playing. I was playing who had Mech Knight, or he had like that invoked Kaiju Mech Knight deck. This actually did work on him quite a little bit. I wish I saw this more. I didn't see it as much as I wanted to. But I would keep it at 3. Definitely keep him. It was an amazing deck whenever I saw it. And then I also played 3 Ash. I only saw Ash like one time the whole tournament. I mean, I would keep it. At least for the next locals. I don't know. I just didn't really see it that much. So yeah. Going on to spells, I played 3 Charge. Staple, you have to run it. And then I played 2 Pod Desires. I actually wanted to run 3, and in the end we decided to go with a copy of Mech Knight Reload in place of the 3rd. Because I honestly was like, I want to run 3, but I don't want to see the 3rd. I don't want to have the chances, the higher chances of drawing the 2nd or 3rd Pod Desires off the first one. I basically don't want to see Pod Desires drawing off Pod Desires. So I tried the Mech Knight Reload. Never came up. I would honestly take it out, and I know what I would side it out for. Or take it out for. The last 2 spells were 2 copies of Limit Removal. This actually did some work. Especially in the True Draco match. This won me, I think this actually won me 1 game, and this would have won me the match 2 of the invoked Kaiju guy, or that match. For the traps, there are some changes I want to make here. First off, 3 Howling. Pretty much like a staple in the board for board control. Really good. Did some work with that bounce effect. 2 goes in match. Also used this on the invoked guy. Did pretty well. I'd be okay kind of like cutting this card out, but if I did, I'd have to side it. It was just actually pretty good. I feel like this would probably be like a side card. And then for the last of the traps, 2 wings, or 2 Phantom Knight wings and 1 sword, and Phantom Knight wings. Oh my gosh, this card was so good. Like, unbelievably good. This actually did save my Dynamis quite a bit. And I want to drop the sword and run 3 wings. That's something I decided. Wings was just too good this tournament. I wish I saw I wish I could have seen it more. But the thing is, like, it was so good. One of the biggest issues of the deck is if my opponent breaks my board, that's kind of it. I just couldn't instantly recover. That's something this deck lacked. And the other thing this deck lacks is draw power. Those are like the 2 biggest issues, and they kind of like interjoin. So this definitely helped try to keep stuff on the field. So I'm going to keep this at 2 or keep this at 3 and drop this. I might maybe side deck. I'd consider side decking a sword maybe. But Phantom Night Wings is just so good. I have to run this at 3 next week. I'm going to go off into the extra deck for links. I played 1 Electromite. He's the only link I actually made. 2 Mistar Boys and 1 Genius. Electromite's all I ever made, just because honestly, the best, surprisingly, what was weird was like the best boards I could have had was actually just keeping my Dynamis on the field. Mainly like keeping the Pletheuses on there and like a Spinos. Really, like, people struggled to get around that with the scale, like, to, like, break that board with the scales. It was actually pretty crazy. And a lot of people are just kind of like, what the heck are Dynamis? Only, like, 2 people actually knew what Dynamis were. Well, one of them, because he was a friend of mine. And then the other, like, he heard of them, but he didn't really know what they did. So, yeah. And then for XYZs, I played the Infinity Nova package, made it once. Totally awesome package, never made it. Abyss Dweller, Baguska, Tornado Dragon, the Crystal Zero package, Heartland Draco. There was times when I probably should have made it. So this is something I'm definitely staying, or is staying. And then Gaga Cowboy. I didn't really go into the extra deck other than really Electromite and Infinity. So that's the extra deck. On to the side deck. So there was only a few cards in here I basically sided. And I was kind of expecting more meta decks, and there was only one meta deck, and one dude was playing Sky Strikers, and I didn't even face this guy. He ended up winning the tournament, but it's just like he was the only meta deck. Everyone else is mainly playing more like cooler and fun decks, kind of like this, or rogue decks. There we go. It was mainly rogue and some fun decks. So yeah. But for monsters, all I sided was Jizukiru and 2 Gamma Seals. I actually thought about siding the Gamma Seals a few games. I just didn't do it. I didn't think it was as needed. And then I sided Called by the Graves. I actually did not even need these at all. Never went in. Shared Rides. So these I need to main deck, I realized. Just because if I main deck these and play them, if my board gets broken, I can actually recover, which is nice. But so basically I would take out a Rex and a Ceratops for 2 of them. Honestly, I could probably just take out the sword for the third, and somehow I'll find a way to work a third, maybe a third Phantom Night Wings in there. So basically the a Ceratops, Rex, and Phantom Night Sword would come out for these. This would have been really good. The only time I actually sided these and saw it was actually one time when I didn't really need them. I was too late, so yeah. Then I also sided Black Horn of Heavens. These would have been good, like, essentially just about every game. The only issue is I didn't see this as much as I wanted. But definitely would, I would definitely keep these in the side deck. Maybe main, I don't know. These put in the Black Horn Heavens put in work. Whenever I drew them and saw them, which was about half the time when I sided them in, they did their job they did their job really well. Last card, Red Reboot, never even sided it, or never even put it in. This was honestly just a waste of 3 slots. So yeah, that's basically my side deck. And all in all, I mean, it was definitely a real fun experience. I enjoyed my time being there. And I'm honestly really excited for next week. Really excited to really fixing this up. We honestly, it's not that bad. We did pretty good on the live stream making this. It's just, I don't know. I wasn't expecting the matchups I had. And there were some cards that could have just been replaced, or like, I know Shared Ride honestly just should have been mained. I realized that, like, when I fought Frank, who was playing Twilightsworns. No, not Twilightsworns, Lightsworns. My bad. This whole time I was saying Twilightsworns. I apologize, guys. Lightsworns. I don't know why I said Twilightsworns. But yeah, he was playing Lightsworn Synchro Turbo. Once I got to like halfway through game one with him, I was like, yeah, I really should just main the shared rides. That's a must. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this kind of video, this local recap video, let me know if this is something you guys want to see more of. And if there's anything you guys think I'm doing wrong or should do or shouldn't do in these types of videos, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I have a special video for tomorrow. I hope you guys are really going to enjoy this. So, see y'all in the next video.